Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. God, this is our first ever live stream. Kind of crazy. Figured I'd give this a try for a couple minutes. Had a few seconds to make a kind of like a little announcement and actually find out about who's actually going to the King Crimson 50th anniversary concert live at Radio City Music Hall this Saturday night in Manhattan. I will be there in attendance. I'm so looking forward to it. I've seen King Crimson. I think this will be the fourth time. And I've actually seen them as recently as 2017. It was right about 2 years ago that I last saw them with this pretty much the same lineup. I looked at the set list from, hey, Steve, what's going on? How are you? Yeah, I know, a live show. I figured I'd try to see how this works for the first time. If it goes well, I'll do more of these. Anyway, so this Saturday night, King Crimson, 50th anniversary tour, 50th anniversary show, the legendary Radio City Music Hall. I'm pretty stoked for this. I've only ever seen Crimson in smaller venues. The last time was actually up in Albany, New York at the Egg. Okay. Really cool little venue that holds, I don't know, maybe 1,500 or maybe a little bit more than that. And that was great. That was probably the best I'd ever seen them. Now here we go to Radio City Music Hall, which fits many thousands. So it should be really, really exciting. Jeff Young is in the house. Jeff Young is also accompanying me to King Crimson this Saturday night. So I am looking forward to not only hanging out with my good friend, but it's his first time seeing King Crimson. If you can believe that. Jeff Young. You pretty psyched, Jeff? Of course you are. Jeff is a big Robert Fripp fan, and I told him as great as Fripp is, the whole band is just absolutely mesmerizing. You know, you got the three drummers, you got Tony Levin, you got Jocko on guitars and vocals. You got Mel Collins on, woodwinds and mellotrons and all sorts of stuff. It's just phenomenal. Like I said, I looked at the set list from Montreal the other night, and it looked absolutely amazing. Who we got in the house now? Oh, we got Knox Punk. You're jealous. Well, don't you live? If you don't, well, maybe you don't live in this area. Anybody out there living in the New York metropolitan area that's going? I would love to hang out and meet some of you. Who else? Anthony. See you there. I'm not sure where we're hanging out beforehand, Anthony. I have a feeling we'll be at Heartland Brewery, though, at least probably just prior to the show. That's fairly local. Who else we got? J20 Man, what's up? What's going on? Who else we got here? This is pretty cool. I got to do more of these. But it should be a really good show. What I really like about this tour and even the last tour that I saw is really for the first time in the history of King Crimson, they're actually diving deep or back deeper into the initial catalog, okay, as well as playing a bunch of more recent material. So it's a great blending of the old and the more recent. When I saw them in 2017 at Albany, I was just absolutely, my jaw was sitting on the floor just seeing them perform, like Epitaph and Starless and Indiscipline and 21st Century Schizoid Man, and all the great stuff that you'd want to hear. And the instrumental interplay between these guys was just like off the charts. Who else we got here? Tate Davis. Do you think they'll play the title track to the Red album? Yeah, they played it last time I saw them, which was pretty cool. Who else we got? Caspar Baylock. What's going on? How are you? Fallen Angel, that's right, Anthony. That was played then too, as well. I mean, the set list was enormous. It was a lengthy show. It was a 2+ hour show, and I just absolutely loved it. Who else we got here? All sorts of people chiming in. This is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to do more of these live videos. I just figure I'd tinker about. I see a lot of other YouTube channels that I follow do the live shows occasionally, and just wanted to kind of see how it works. Get ready for another Whitesnake question from Caspar. Cool, lay it on me, man. Sorry I haven't gotten to the questions and answers show in about a week and a half. Just, man, I've been busy traveling for the day job. I just got back from Dayton, Ohio, Jeff Young's hometown, yesterday. And I got to spend 3 days in New York City next week for a conference, and then I'm home for a week, and then I'm back in Washington, D.C. for 4 days. So it's the next few weeks, it's just been nonstop. But by mid-October, I should be kind of planted, can do more of the shows more often than I want to. But I hope to get to a questions and answers show maybe Saturday morning. We'll see how it goes. All right. Who else we got here? The Dallas Space Cowboy, what's going on? I am good, my friend. How are you? Hope all is well. Hey, you guys liking the classic live album wars we got going on? Anybody want to give their prediction of who's going to make it to the finals and win this whole damn thing? I'm gonna save my my picks for myself, but I'm just curious what you guys are thinking. I know everybody probably has that list of like 4 or 5 or 6 that they think are going to make it all the way to the end. I got to tell you, Dallas Space Cowboy is in class right now. Well, what are you doing watching YouTube, my friend? You should be doing your studies. Are you in college or so Jeff Young says UFO Strangers in the Night is going to win the entire classic live album battle. You know what? I'm not going to say I agree 100%, but I think it's going to go all the way to the end. I really do. At least the final 4. James Stegmuller saw them in Columbus, 74, Aerosmith opened them. Awesome. Dallas Space Cowboys in college. On a quick break. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing your break with us. Anthony thinks Genesis Live is going to make it to the end. I don't know about that. I think it'll go far. That's a good one. And don't count out seconds out because that's coming up soon too. I got a really good matchup for seconds out. In fact, Jeff Young, if you're still listening, you and I are going to be doing that little Genesis seconds out with a pairing of another album from another great band that I know he digs a lot. So who else we got? J20 Man says UFO versus Deep Purple in the finals. Caspar says Made in Japan, of course. Who else we got? Mirsunin. Will Alive in Athens by Ice, you damn bitch it. Well, it's coming up. I got a great combatant for it as well. From Papa Joe. Was there the night UFO record? You were there the night UFO recorded Strangers in the Night? Really? Wow, that's awesome. That must have been phenomenal. I've never seen UFO with Schenker, and I wish I would have back in the day. Who else we got here? Tate Davis. Live at Leeds, maybe? Probably. It did really well. Okay. Went up against Jimi Hendrix Band of Gypsies and beat it pretty single-handedly. Will Hetty Slide be in the first round? Maybe that's a little too obscure. Yeah, and I actually don't own that, so that probably won't be. Who else we got here? Tom Ostrander, Made in Japan. Yep, I think so. From Dallas Space Cowboy, I've been enjoying the Classics Live Album Wars. Hope to see Chris Allo back soon. My personal favorite guest of yours. You'll make a good pair. Thank you. Yeah, I enjoy having Chris on the show. Chris actually lives very close to me, but we're both so busy, it's hard to kind of schedule. So whenever I can get him in here, we try to record a whole shitload of shows. So Chris and I actually have already discussed, I think 4, maybe 5 other Classic Live Album War shows, because I've got a long list of them. Like I said, guys, we're going to be doing this show, the Classic Live Album War thing, probably in the first round anyway, all throughout October. I would imagine. I can't, maybe not quite to the end of October. I got a pretty long list. I'd have to kind of map it all out. But Chris and I have already talked about doing a handful of other ones. Jeff Young and I are talking about doing a couple more as well. So we're going to kind of plow through these, and Chris and I still are planning on doing that History of Iron Maiden show. Now that like the fall is here, once I get done with my travel schedule, I know Chris had a bunch of other things he was busy with all summer. We're going to kind of get back to that and present that to you guys. Who else we got here? From Costas Freedom, greetings from Greece. Made in Japan by far. That seems to be the popular sentiment. Greeting, Costas. How are you? Opening band was Molly Hatchet from Papa Joe. Made in Japan will take it. We'll see. We'll see. I definitely think. All right. I'll tell you. You guys want me to tell you what I think? I'll tell you what I think, because it really doesn't. Because I'm just like you guys. I'm just kind of predicting here. I don't really have a say in who wins these things. I think the final bunch. All right. I think Made in Japan is going to get really far. I think Live at Leeds is going to get very far. I think Strangers in the Night is going to get really far. I think Thin Lizzy Live and Dangerous is going to go pretty far. I think Kiss Alive is going to go pretty far. I think the Allman Brothers at the Fillmore is going to go pretty far. Other than that, we'll kind of see, right? There's been some surprises, right? AC/DC blew away the Rolling Stones. I never thought I'd see that, because so many people commented that, the Rolling Stones Get Your Ya-Ya's Out is one of the greatest live albums of all time, but yet AC/DC's You Got Blood destroyed it. I was amazed that Grand Funk Railroad beat out Humble Pie's performance at the Fillmore. And I voted for Grand Funk, and I picked Grand Funk, but I really thought that Humble Pie would win that. But there's a lot of old school Grand Funk Railroad fans out there. So I was pretty happy about that. Frampton just beat out Wings Over America. I was a little sad about that. I love them both, but I'm a big Wings guy. So there's been some surprises. It's probably the biggest surprise. And Jeff and Chris, if you're watching, I was, right now it's not over yet, but Rainbow is beating the Scorpions Tokyo Tapes. I did not think that would happen. Again, they're both great. I did not expect that. So I know there's still some time left. So if there's any of you Scorpions fans who have not voted for Tokyo Tapes, you probably should go out and do that, because the way it's going, I think Rainbow's going to take that one. What else has kind of surprised me? There's been a couple others that are like, and Judas Priest Unleashed in the East and Iron Maiden Live After Death. That's a lot closer than I thought it would be. And I think on the Facebook page, Maiden is beating it pretty handily, but on YouTube here, Unleashed is beating it. So I'm going to have to kind of analyze both numbers and see what actually happens. Who else we got here? Let's see. Tate Davis, Twin Peaks by Mountain. I think that'll make it to the semis. We'll see. That's coming up real soon. In fact, Jeff Young and I are going to be doing a show with Twin Peaks as one of the combatants. I'm not going to give away who it's going against. That's coming up soon. From Meister Dejev, how about live video albums? Judas Priest, Fuel for Life 86, Saxon. Yeah, maybe at some point. It's going to be a while. We got to see all this through, and I'm going to need to take a break from this kind of versus format, but maybe in 2020 we'll do something like that. Let's see, from Caspar, I really hope the Ayreon from last week will come out as a live thing. That was more than killer. I mean, Ayreon is great, right? Great band. Rush, All the World's a Stage. I think Rush already lost, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back and check my my spreadsheet, but I'm pretty sure Rush has already been eliminated. However, Exit Stage Left is coming up. So there you go. Kiss Alive versus Made in Japan for the final from Papa Joe. Could be. I know, Jeff. I'm perplexed myself. From Torbillion, On Stage is winning. Best news today. Yeah, I didn't think that would be the case. I know a lot of people love that lineup of Rainbow, myself included, man. And I love On Stage. I'm more of a Tokyo Tapes guy. If I had to kind of, put them neck and neck, Tokyo Tapes just for me is like life altering. I love On Stage. So I was actually surprised, because I know we have a lot of Scorpions fans on the channel. Who else we got? Anthony, ever been to As Is NYC Brewery? No. Where is that? Is that anywhere near Radio City? I love breweries. So if that's somewhere not too far, where I don't have to go traveling all the way downtown, I'd be interested. From Mirsunen, How the West Was Won is coming up. Chris Allo and I are actually doing a show with How the West Was Won versus another very interesting, legendary heavy band, a live album that kind of was released later on. Okay, just like How the West Was Won. I'm not giving up any more than that. From Leaf Sikloski, what about a Stevie Ray Vaughan matchup? You know what? I don't have the Stevie Ray Vaughan live album in the list of to-dos. I may want to rethink that. It's a good live album. I don't think it's a great live album, but yeah, it kind of feels weird not having Stevie Ray in this. I'll get back to you on that. Jeff, boo. Yeah, I know, right? Aaron from Magram is going. Cool. Well, like I said, Aaron, I think Jeff and I might be hanging out at Heartland Brewery right before the show. So if you guys are there, come find us. From what else? Meister, Grunge Unplugged Battle Royal. Alice in Chains 96 is winner, but Stone Temple Pilots 93 is close. You know what? I love Alice in Chains. I'm not much of a grunge fan, other than like Alice in Chains and the Soundgarden. I really don't like any of the bands from that era, so probably won't go there. From Anthony, it's on 734 10th Avenue. Some of my buds are going there. So that's not too far. That's not too far. 10th Avenue. Yeah, it's not too far. That's a possibility. I'll keep that in mind. Anthony, reach out to me like the morning of on Facebook and let me know if you're definitely going to be there. That's a possibility. What else? Jeff says Stevie Ray Vaughan live at the Carnegie. I don't think I have that. I got a couple Stevie Ray Vaughan live albums. I got to take a look. From Tate Davis, the only thing about Twin Peaks that might be a turn off to some fans might be the half-hour mammoth version of Nantucket Sleigh Ride. You have to be in the right frame of mind to listen to that. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean, I personally like that Mountain live album a lot. Although I will tell you, I have a couple like those Mountain official bootleg thingies, and the one, it was like a New Year's Eve show. I forget what year it was. Is killer. Even better. I mean, obviously the Twin Peaks album sounds better production wise, but the that like official boot that I have from the New Year's Eve show, again, I don't remember where it's from, is incredible performance. Let's see. Jeff says sweet rendition of Lenny on that Stevie Ray Vaughan. Well, when was any rendition of Lenny never sweet? I mean, that's like prime Stevie Ray right there, man. I love Lenny a lot. From Joseph, you rock, P. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the kind words. Trying to think if I could talk about some other news. All right, how about you guys want interested in what I've been listening to lately? Since I don't do that too often. By the way, I'm going to plug it again in case you haven't bought it. Go out and get this at all costs, folks, if you are a Frank Marino fan. I know it's a little pricey, but holy moly, this is killer. DVD, Blu-ray, booklet, Frank Marino, live in 2010. Does not get much better than that. Let's see, I announced on the Facebook page, I picked this up recently. The Who live at Hull 1970, recorded and performed right after the Live at Leeds show. Amazing. Pretty much the exact same set list. As good, if not better, than the Leeds show. I kid you not. I didn't even know they released this. It's been out since 2012. A couple of you guys had mentioned that it's up there with Leeds, so I picked it up. I just got it yesterday, and oof, amazing. How about this? Rubicon. You ever hear of this band? I never heard of this band before, but of course, this was like a late 70s kind of like a West Coast horn band featuring none other than Brad Gillis of Night Ranger, pre-Night Ranger, pre-Ozzy, on guitar, and Jack Blades, also pre-Night Ranger, and Damn Yankees on bass. Really cool. This is, I think, their 2 albums on one. I think it's self-titled and Dreams, or America Dreams. Just got this yesterday too. Really good. I mean, if you like kind of like Blood, Sweat, and Tears Chicago, but a little kind of late 70s sound, pretty damn good. What else? What else I got here? It's hard to believe I never had this, okay, but on CD or LP. But Bebop Deluxe, Live in the Air Age, kind of completes my Bebop Deluxe discography. Smoking. Man, Bill Nelson, what a great guitar player. What else we got here? Just got this, The Best of Sea Level. All right. Had this on cassette way back in the day. Finally got it on CD because a lot of their actual albums on CD are like out of print and tough to get. This got a good chunk of their best stuff. Of course, 3 former Allman Brothers guys doing the jazz fusion thing. I dig it. Just got these recently. Couple Point Blank albums on CD. That completes my Point Blank collection. Really good Southern rockers from Texas. What else we got? Got any death metal fans out there? All right, how about the latest from Nocturnal? Paradox, a great return to form for these guys, doing the symphonic death metal thing. It's complex, tons of keyboards. Man, it's like prog rock keyboards to technical death metal. Whew. Killer. What else? What else we got here? Hey, Jeff, if you're still watching, Jeff turned me on to Dan Fogelberg a couple months ago, so I've been digging on a lot of those classic Fogelberg albums. What do I got here? Got Phoenix, got Captured Angel and Netherlands. What else? Where's the rest of my Fogelberg? Here we go. The Innocent Age. Really good kind of folky, poppy, but just not like your typical folk by any means. It's really, really cool, different stuff. I know I got some other Fogelberg here. Yeah, here we go with Tim Weisberg. What else? I picked up a lot of them. Windows and Walls. I like this one a lot. Actually, they're all really good. They're all really different, which I kind of like. And we got, what is this called? Home Free. Okay. And last but not least, one of his more popular ones, Souvenirs. Great voice, really good instrumentation. The guy's a pretty killer guitar player, which I think obviously, interests me quite a bit. Jeff had played a few of his tracks on an edition of his Music Without Boundaries show, and he played some of the more electric stuff. And I was pretty blown away. So I just went out and bought a bunch of them. They were pretty cheap. So got to dig it, right? Also here, how about the latest from Big Big Train, Grand Tour? I really like these guys a lot, man. Great UK prog act, little bits of Genesis, little bits of Jethro Tull. Very, very melodic, nice lengthy tunes, great vocalists, a lot of great instrumentation. And this is, can't beat this kind of presentation, right? Nice booklet, all jacked with lyrics and paintings and photos and all sorts of cool stuff. I don't know. If you haven't listened to Big Big Train yet, you really should. Classic stuff. I think that's probably it. What else? So if you haven't checked this out, Pat Travers Swing, like this a lot. It's quick. It's only about a half hour long, but it's Pat doing some interpretations of old swing classics, but chock full of ripping Travers guitar. I like that quite a bit. In fact, Pat's got another regular rock album coming out soon. I just heard recently. How about the Marcus King Band? If you're into like Southern rock and stuff like that, I highly recommend these guys. Marcus is a killer guitar player. If you like Joe Bonamassa and the like, you'll totally, Warren Haynes. Some of the earlier albums, the two I just showed you, are kind of Government Mule-ish. This is the latest one. A little bit, got a lot of horns on it. It's a little poppier, but still pretty damn good. So all sorts of interesting things there I've been listening to lately, and that's just like new stuff, right? So new stuff that I picked up, I should say. But, I'm trying to think if we got anything else I can show you. That's about it. I think we're going to sign off. So hope you guys will, let me go through the comments real quick here. See if I missed anything. Let's see. Didn't Rubicon play at the California Jam back in the 70s? They absolutely did. In fact, there's footage on YouTube of their set, I believe. Let's see. Who else we got here? Let me go back. Make sure I got everybody here. Gene Phillips, Steppenwolf Live. What's up, Gene? Yeah, Steppenwolf Live was just added to the spreadsheet, and I got another album to match up with it, so that's coming too. Stay tuned. Let's see, Live Killers versus Two for the Show. I don't know about Live Killers, but I've got Two for the Show lined up for another combatant, but as well as Live Killers. So that's coming. Let's see. From Caspar, got the Frank Marino DVD. My wife considered divorce after that Marino came in. Jeez, I know, right? Because not only does it cost $100, right? You got to sit down. It's going to take days to get through it unless you got absolutely, and that's like, I know if your wife is like mine, I mean, every time I played the Marino, then I had to watch it in like 4 different viewings. Every time I started playing the Marino, and she was in the other room, she'd come out and she goes, "This guy still playing guitar solos? That's all I've heard is guitar solos from this video." I'm like, the wife is not into long guitar solos. Trust me. What else we got here? Brad Gillis, before whammy bar abuse on the Rubicon. Yeah, exactly, Meister. That is totally true. From Thomas, hello, Pete. I want to thank you for introducing me to Angligard's Hybris album in my top 5 progressive records. Thanks. You're very welcome. Did you check out their other studio album? You should do that. Actually, they had 2 other studio albums and a live album. Get them all. They're great. Absolutely great. From Grant Arthur, any love for Live Rust? Yes, indeed. They're coming. Live Rust is coming. I got a combatant all lined up, so you will see Neil Young coming up soon as well. Let's see. What else we got here? From Meister, Nocturnus new album. Yeah, it's killer. Trust me. It's really, really good. What I like about it too, I know some people kind of shy away from the death metal thing and the growls and all that kind of stuff, the Cookie Monster vocals, but his are really good, the drummer, because you can understand everything he's saying, which is kind of cool, and I kind of dig that. It's when the guys come out with a and you have no idea what they're spewing. That to me is kind of like, but this guy, you can understand everything, which is really cool. Let's see. From Caspar, did you listen to Golden Earring Tease and no, I don't think I do not think I have that one. No, I don't. Let's see. From Steve, Souvenirs by Fogelberg is amazing. Yes, it is. From Grant Arthur, we need that Fogelberg show. Get Jeff on it there with you. What do you think, Jeff? Dan Fogelberg, top 10 songs, best to worst albums? I don't know. I'll let you decide. I'm up for it. Just give me a little bit of time so I can kind of get a little more kind of familiar with the albums. From Elifas Desny, salutes from Slovenia. What's going on? We got people from all over the planet today. Aaron, thanks, Pete. Take care. Maybe we'll swing by Heartland. Sounds good, Aaron. Hope you enjoy the show if I don't see you. What else we got here? From Patrick Sullivan, love your shirt, Pete. Do you listen to Raging Slab? I have heard Raging Slab. I've heard some of their material. I don't own anything by them, so I'm not that familiar with them. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up, but this has been fun. We'll do more of these. All right. This sounds like a great way to kind of converse. And I'm considering possibly doing a future episode of our questions and answers via this route. Okay. All right. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Might just do that. Take care, guys. Papa Joe, have a good one. Steve, thanks for joining, everybody. We'll see you real soon, right? We don't touch that dial because we got Kiss Alive versus Cheap Trick at Budokan coming up momentarily. Take care. Bye-bye.